Hello and welcome to episode 10 of our Timberborn 1.0 experimental playthrough with the Iron Teeth on the Ant Farm map, Cycle 11, Day 1. We've got a lot to be proud of, a lot to be happy about the last couple of episodes, and of course we can't let up, because as soon as we do, we're going to get absolutely slammed by a 30-day bad tide and not have everything ready to go. So let's just, real quick, it's not going to be 10 minutes this time, just hit pause, take stock of where we are. We do have corn rations theoretically being produced, except now we have no corn to produce into rations, so that's why that's paused. But we have kind of a weirdly set up industrial area up here. I'm not going to leave this like this forever. But this is currently the best way I can think of to have everything organized up on the top of the map here. So while we're waiting for more corn to grow, which we've planted down here, and it's going to be harvested pretty soon, we do still have a decent amount of cassava here, and that can be plucked out, these guys in the farmhouse here. And I do have a fermenter here. I've got another fermenter here that is currently paused. This is basically full on both raw and fermented cassava. We do not really have a lot of space overall. We're almost full up completely on fermented cassava. That we just have this tiny, tiny gap right here, just because there's a little bit left in the fermenter itself. But it's a recipe for 10 at a time, so we're not going to be able to do anything until we have more storage. So what do we do about that? Well, I got 210 science, and if I get 250 science, then I can build a large warehouse. We'll get 1,200 storage. So I think that's probably a good near-term goal for us to get to today. We also, should we choose to modify how this is set up, we could put in a compact water wheel setup slightly modified so that we have two of these. We have one kind of a little bit over this badwater source. It's going to have to sit right on the edge here. And then that's going to, of course, mean this large power wheel isn't going to be usable, because of how we have the axles go through and all the other fun stuff like that. But for right now, that's not really a concern. I know it's dark. Bad time for me to, choose to hit pause here. But somebody left a comment and said I don't have all my trees set for cutting, and that is correct. So it's a good idea just to take a look real quick. Don't really need to have this marked for cutting. Not that it really matters. But we can take the time to fix that. These as other things also. So that's probably fine. We've started planting some oak trees here. We've got oak trees here, oak trees here. I did plant these as birches, just because that's what they already were. I do think for right now, it's fine to have those as birches. But I am going to slowly, as we get these, harvested and all that, I'm going to slowly move those over to oaks, because that is what we have access to. Got a total capacity for water storage of over 1,300. We need to continue increasing that number, but a big part of that, of course, is getting gears. And I think in terms of storage, our biggest pressing need is probably water storage, not necessarily food storage. So I'm going to continue building medium tanks, and then, when we have the science and we have the resources to build the large ones, then we'll go to the large ones. But yes, I know there's at least a few of you who are very, 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 very adamant that I put in hauling post somewhere. So, there you go. I know I had this a long, long time ago set up as one of the things that we're going to do, and, well, I hadn't done it yet. So, there you go. We're going to have that. I'm probably going to start out with 3 beavers for hauling. Now we have so much stuff all over the map. It's not really that big of a map, granted, but we have so much stuff that needs to be moved around. We have all of these small tanks that, yes, do need to be swapped out for medium ones, that we're going to run into efficiency problems if we don't have beavers that can haul things around. So, I think that is a good thing for us to be getting into today. This is very full and overflowing because somebody forgot to fix the little doohickey right there. These should be all good to go. Yep, and now we've got corn coming out, so that, I believe, going to be a good opportunity for us to get this food factory staffed, get that hit pause. Should be okay, especially now that they can pull that up. We just need to optimize a whole lot more stuff. But that, of course, it does just take time. I need to get some trees planted here. That would be very, very nice if we could do that. But I've still got these guys on pumping maximum mode. I guess it's probably not that mission critical. I'm going to pause that one. And I suppose, since these are all kind of far away down here, probably don't need to be worried about that quite as much. Wouldn't be a bad idea to probably put a medium tank down here. I have that set to completely empty, because this is going to be poison water basically all the time. Oh, I could actually stick that over there. That wouldn't be a horrible spot for it. I'm just trying to, you know, shove stuff basically anywhere it'll fit. Whether that makes sense or not. Berry storage. Oh, I really need to have other berry storage somewhere else. Well, we will, we'll deal with that at another time. This needs to get filled back up again. I know I just have the one beaver doing building right now. Probably should have more than that. Let's get 2 in there. It's not as big of a deal now, because we have this reservoir here, which we do need to continue expanding. I am primarily focused on just making it so that we're not going to be in a completely horrible, bad spot if we don't remember to solve all of our problems. Let's just get that all the way filled up again. This really doesn't take that much water to get completely filled up. But if we forget it now, it's going to be a problem later. So it looks like that is just about complete, ready to go. Let's hit pause on there. And now I've got... And of course, there's nobody in here. Let's take this out of triple speed. I'm going to hit pause on the food factory. That's fine there. Just continue getting these guys going around here. This... I believe, if we have another bad tide, is going to be a problem there. And I have said multiple times, I need to send somebody in here while I still can and get this diversion set up. And then we also have all this scrap metal on the ground. I always forget that that's going to get absolutely yeeted into oblivion. So, I don't have the science for it yet, but it's only 400. I don't think it's possible for me to get the science necessary to do this diversion before we have another bad tide, regardless. So, unfortunately, this is going to have to sit here and just kind of be irrelevant for a little while longer. Much more focused on getting water taken care of. Okay, and that's actually getting some decent progress going there. Let's get that back on triple speed. We're going to find out probably, if not, well, definitely if not, quote-unquote, today in-game. It'll be the next day. Okay, so we get a full temperate cycle. Very nice. Very, very good. Got absolutely nothing wrong with that. Though I do wish the water would come a little bit faster. This is where, if we could actually get haulers to, you know, do hauling things, and not have slightly too few beavers to actually do all this stuff, we'd be in a really, really, really good spot. So I don't think I can do that without hitting pause on a bunch of these foresters, and this guy didn't even... This guy didn't even have a chance to, you know, really finish much of anything, huh? Must have just now started doing that, so I guess I should let him Get things taken care of there. Yeah, this right here I can hit pause. I do want to redo terraforming on a bunch of this stuff when we get around to it. But I need to get somebody in here. I've got one. Okay. Yeah, because they need to be able to, you know, actually pump. Then I can have all of these things prioritized so they don't have to worry about it, but that's not a tremendously huge right now type of thing. And now if we get a bad tide again, then okay, that's going to limit some of what we're able to do. But if we get a drought, friends, we're going to finally be able to do this diversion, and that's not going to be a big deal. Someone did leave a comment, and I think they might have messaged me in the Discord about it as well. That said, oh, I should get rid of this blockage here, put a sluice here and all that. It's like, yeah, okay, that'll work. But it's also going to shunt a whole bunch of water, clean or unclean, off this backside here. See if I can get this to show to you. And I guess it's probably fine. It's not really that big of a deal. But that does kind of bother me. Just a little bit, knowing that we're going to have that kind of level of waste present. So, I'd like not to do that. I think if we manage to get a drought, then we'll be in good shape. If we get a bad tide, then we're just going to have a little bit more annoyance to take care of. But we have at least another 3.5 full days, assuming we can actually get... I don't know where I was going with that. Assuming we can actually get the science in place, we could maybe take care of that. But 1 hour for one science point, it's not going to happen. The number cruncher squad, yes. If I had 1,500 science, then that would be a choice that I could make. But I do not, and I will not for a very long time. Unless I'm able to just get a whole bunch of these guys in inventors. But we still only have 21 beavers. It's a whole lot harder when you have a smaller population. Okay, and we have a drought coming in, so that is very, very, very good news for all the stuff that I would like to get done today. So, let's hit pause on that forester. I don't think I need to be worried about any more of these. Did I get all of this in here? I did not. I need 8. Really? I need 8 more gears? Oh, these are so slow. I'm not used to this. Well, seeing how this is now going to not be a problem for however long this drought's going to be, probably don't need to really be worried about too much of the rest of this. I just really want these guys to be able to pump as much as they can. So let's hit pause on these lumberjack flags. Try to get as many of these guys into pumps as possible. Just so we can have, well, a whole lot of pumping going on. We got basically 3 full days to do that, and I have, assuming this tank can get finished by then. I mean, even right now I got 400 empty capacity that I could be filling up. I got those prioritized by haulers. I've got how many in here? 3. Okay, we can do that. And I've got in here and in here. Probably don't need to be that worried about that right now. I've just got to get a little better about where I'm putting all of my water storage. Right here would be a good place probably for another one of those. I don't have a great idea for that. Well, for right now we just need to get all of that water pumped out. So let's go on triple speed. If these, that's going to be set to obtain. And that probably should be set down here. It's not even finished yet. Should be set to supply. That would make sense. I don't have any storage over here either, and that is, am I going to be able to, oh, it can, okay. Not like they're going to have this finished in the next 2.3 days anyway, but every little bit counts. I don't think we're going to have any huge problems. Now keep in mind, having a drought is going to mean that I'm going to have the large power wheel operating. We're not going to be able to do quite so much with all of these things, but we are really going to need to make sure that we can operate all of the food processing so the beavers don't get hungry, because that causes all sorts of problems. And that is done. Okay, very good. Very good. I got a total capacity of 1890. Yeah, let's get in here and take care of that. And then if I can get this all the way filled up without it being a huge ordeal, then I think we could put some effort into getting some science done and then get all of this. Let's get these filled up. Of course, they don't have any beavers to do this right now. I want to make sure this is also going to stay filled up as much as we want it to. That's something we won't have to worry about for the time being. Okay, I only have 2 of those guys in there. 1 day left, up to 1,500, so that's looking good. Food-wise, yeah, we're okay, but we are going to want this to get turned on sooner rather than later. I just really want to make sure this isn't going to be a huge pain in the butt. Get that filled up there. Got a little bit more time. Yeah, I guess we're going to be okay. We can continue moving all of this stuff. I cannot wait to get dynamite so I can level some of this and get these areas cleaned out so I can put other larger tanks and stuff in there. Alright. So now we've got 0.3 days, and we don't know how long of a drought this is going to be. Let's go ahead and start to get these set up here. Don't think it's really going to be that big of a deal. Shouldn't be at the very least. Alright, so that can be paused. This can be paused. And just because this is about to be done, probably isn't going to make that much of a difference, but just get this set up like so. And how long of a drought are we going to have? A little tiny bit of flooding, is it okay? Alright, 15 days. 15 days. I will take that. Let's make sure we get this paused. So now I've got some beavers back here. I've got 2 there. I'm going to keep these guys in the hauling post, but now I can get them back in the inventors. And we definitely are going to want to have... Definitely going to want to have some of that going. So let's get this food processing going back again, because that's going to be a problem if we don't do that. I should be able to get one of these guys in here and one of these guys in here. I think I can pause. Yeah, I don't have any storage for gears anyway. Hit pause on both of those things. Get this unpaused here, and that should... Yeah, that should be good. These are going to operate at not 100% efficiency, but it's going to allow us to have a little bit more capacity, so that'll be okay long term. I guess I could put the second beaver in here. That's probably okay. And now it's all systems go on science collection. So, let's find some spots where I can put these things without it being a huge pain in the butt. I know this is like way off in the middle of nowhere. Like this is something that is supposed to make sense, but I think this is probably the only real option I've got in terms of not being disruptive. And yeah, I'll just put 2 more of those down there. Minimum priority, of course, because you know that's how that goes. This will be fine for 15 days. Water-wise, we're in perfectly fine shape. I don't think we need to be worried about it. But we really, really want really, really, really want to be able to do our diversion here without it being a huge pain in the butt. So, I'm going to have more and more of these industrial piles, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to take care of that. Well, no matter what, I need this blockage to go away. We need to be at 15 days. There is no chance that I'm not able to finish taking care of this in that time. Famous last words, so on and so forth. You get the idea. I've got 68 scrap metal here that we probably need to stick somewhere. This is not irrigated right now, so I guess this really isn't a great spot for this, but yeah. At some point it stops being about what makes sense and starts being about, you know, just what can you just do at all. So I am going to focus on getting the sluice gates before I get the large storage. I think that's probably fine. Spend as little time, little effort as possible on stuff that's annoying. As long as it's not a problem that it's not getting done. So that's going to help us get up there. I only need to have 400 for this. And a single sluice is 5 scrap metal, regular metal, metal blocks, whatever have you. So I mean, I don't need this to be gone before I put this in here, but it's going to make it so much worse if I have to babysit this. So I guess they'll work on this 16 days. Oh, how did this dry out that fast? Really? That's a rather annoying problem. Well, I did say that when I put this in, I knew this wasn't going to be the ideal irrigation station. It would probably evaporate a lot faster. Just because that's the way that goes. So we'll keep tabs on this. I don't think it's a big deal to just keep this filled up. I don't want to keep a beaver employed there, though, because that's going to be, well, something that's going to cause a lot of problems because I don't have that many beavers to begin with. Yeah, let's just get that full all the way up. Looks good on my end. See, we're already up to 311 science. Don't you love to see that? Demolition priority on that's not too high, is it? So, I believe I'm only going to need a single sluice here to take care of this, just because we have the 2 sources here and the waterfall limit's not a problem anymore. This does mean that I didn't necessarily have to get rid of this, but might as well, right? I'm going to put in 2 levees right there. I'm going to try to make this as, you know, little of a problem as possible. Actually, you know what? Let's not do that. I can't do this yet. 376. Yeah, I need this to be here. 387, 88. Okay, it's not going to be the end of the tonight, is it? No, it's not. Okay. That is unfortunate, ending at 396, so I don't have the time to take care of this right now. Well, tell you what we can do while we're waiting is I can pop in these little diversionary bits here that aren't going to be super, super necessary. Okay, there's my 400. There we go. Pop that there. This, of course, set to close. Oh, God, here I go again. Well, it's not that hard. I can't believe you can't. Look, it's fine. It's fine. It's just every time I do this for the first time in a long time, I have to relearn how to do this. Just how my brain works. If yours functions better than mine, then congratulations on being normal. Yes, I want that to be closed above contamination. I think it's just one of those things where my brain wants it to be a certain way, and when it's set up the opposite way, then it just kind of short circuits. Because I want it to tell me when it's going to be open, not when it's going to be closed, even though it is basically the same thing, right? Ends up not being that big of a deal. We got that taken care of. Man, they still have not finished this. Come on. I don't have logs. Oh, because I didn't have them set to cut anything down, did I? So I guess I can just let them go to town cutting those things down. That kind of rhymes. And then I probably need to get somebody in here replanting everything. Except all of these things I said I was going to replant as oaks. And I've not exactly done that now, have I? Okay, so that's in place there. I do need that to be a thing. That's going to be completely taken care of. That's fine. That's fine. This here, actually, since I have impermeable floors now, where I can research them in a little bit, this will be easy. I just would really like for this scrap metal to be pulled up before I have to turn this into a huge pain in the butt. I think if I pressurize this correctly, it should be okay. But I am going to be a little paranoid about doing this wrong. What else is new, right? Okay, so these are done. It's completely pulled out. That's fine. Gives me a couple more beavers left. Okay, that's good. No complaints there. It's looking okay. Still need the bigger storages, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. I'm going to get somebody in here to start replanting these. Just because that space is not currently being used for anything. Until I have the irrigation contamination stuff taken care of, I'm not going to bother replacing these with oaks just because, well, not much of a point in doing that. At least not for right now. Okay, so that's done there, which means I can put in these two right there. It'll be completely blocked off. So there we go. Down to 51 there. We got 9 days left. Could have been a whole lot worse. Put all that down there. I probably should start making more metal here. Food-wise, we're probably okay. I'm gonna hit pause on that. I've got 10 gears. I really should build a storage for those. Oh, terraforming. I cannot wait to have terraforming. It's gonna make things just so much easier. Alright, so now I really need a third beaver here. Make enough power for that. Down to 42. So just as a reminder, what's going to happen here is this is going to be shunted off the side of the map. And I shouldn't need a second sluice because I'm only going to be caring about shoving the badwater away. And then once this gets to a clean enough state from that, then it'll go down that way. No, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. So that's done. I don't need to necessarily get rid of these stairs, but there's also not really much of a point for them to still be here. Oh, I think that's fine. But once that's done, I can just have this built in right here. I can't build anything right now, but I am pretty sure, we'll test this out when we get to the temperate cycle, but I'm pretty sure I don't even need to cap this. I might want to, but I probably don't need to for that to be a viable thing for us to preserve here. Food's still looking okay. We need to get some badwater pumping going on, but I think I want to kind of slightly redo how this is set up before that becomes a thing. I think this is probably okay. Yeah, right now I just don't have a very good answer to this besides doing something some other way. Yeah, if I move this one block over this way, then this, you know what, this actually isn't going to be any better because this isn't going to connect on that side. Yeah, because I'm not going to be able to build on top of this. I'd have to have the overhangs to do that, and I can't really research those to the degree that I probably want to yet. Okay, let's get these guys in here. I suppose I'll just pause that lumberjack flag. That's probably fine. Get these things replanted. This is all doing okay. Science is looking pretty good, actually. Down to 17 there. Okay, that's going splendidly well. I got 3 here in the hauling post. I think we're at the point now where it's going to make sense for us to move this inventor. See if I can fit a... No, I cannot. I can put one of those there. That's going to be a better thing to have right here, right now, anyway. 1 log. Really, there's no space for 1 log. No, 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 no! Don't build that. Of course, now I have the opposite problem of the logs are in the... Alright. There we go. All I wanted was to be able to stick this tank here instead. So this here probably is no longer the best place for this to go. So what I will do is I will remove that. Get this emptied out. I'm going to try to put in another tank in here. I don't know that I'm going to have the clearance for it. Oh, I will vertically. Just right here. So let's see how that's going to... Oh. Yeah, I can stick one there, and then I could get another one back in here if I really felt like it. Depending on how I wanted to, you know, set this up. It may actually be a better option for me to just do this. And I probably didn't need to get rid of this platform here because I can instead have just done this and popped this through here. I know this is a whole lot of resources getting dumped into some spot that, you know, maybe doesn't make a whole ton of sense. But I guess it's alright. That's going to come out that way to the very bottom. That's fine, because that's only ever going to be clean. Oh, good, this is done. Alright, so I do need to get that scrap metal off the ground. Is this full? Okay, please tell me this didn't just... Okay, good. That's alright. Try to do a whole lot at once. We'll get these filled back up, and we're really looking good on water here, so that's fine. Remember what I was doing here was trying to get this set up where it would be basically impossible for anything bad to happen here. Do I need these other stacks here? Yeah, maybe not, but I'm trying to do something good. And then, anyway, what I was going to say is that this becomes a much easier place for us to pump from. If I just do one of those, just like that, and now I've got 3 of these other things. I mean, they can't build them yet because I don't have all the gears for it, but it's better than a kick of the pants. So that's fine there. Those are done. Alright, now it's time to get serious about this, because now I'm down to 73 fermented cassava. Let's get this done here. Pause that. I've got 3 days left. I'm making 252, and that's probably fine. I just need to have both of these. Alright, now I have the problem of, having that be an issue. Okay, those have been paused. That's, well, it is what it is. So I have 4 of these inventor huts, which means my -4 is actually a 0 if I don't need science, which right now it seems like that's fine without it, so we're looking okay. These have dried out completely. Got 2 something. Okay, that's fine is what it is. So that's there. Taking care of that. That's fine. It's about as good as I'm going to get this for the time being, huh? Seems like that's what that's going to be at least. So, I know I just said I wasn't going to maybe put a cap on this, but I'm feeling like it's, you know what? Actually, I don't need to rely on this staircase either way. Which way is that facing? I have to... No, that doesn't match. It doesn't matter. Yes, it does. It absolutely matters. Everything matters. But they can get those 2 put in. Should not be an issue. And then I think this should be good. Now, if it has weird splashing, then yeah, I'm going to go in and put a cap on it. I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. The biggest issue now is making sure we have plenty of storage for food and water. Although the way this has been going, I think we've made a whole lot more improvements than setbacks this episode with this. I know we have plenty of gears that have not been made, but now we have this other tank in here. We got a total capacity of 2,100. We're getting there. We are getting there, folks. Okay, these are... They're going to be fine. They're not going to be dead in the time it takes for us to get into the new day here. I think all we have to do now is just kind of wait and see what happens. But I am very, very, very interested in having these 2 levees completed so I can at least test if this is going to be causing us problems for overflowing. So I'll let them take care of that. I need to make a storage for fermented cassavas. We've been over that. I think now is probably a good time to have the corn turned back on. Also, when we get around to that. And now it's about to be cycle 12, so... For what we're doing now, I don't want to have these guys on the power wheel. I need these guys to be pumping. So I'll turn those 3 back on. Need to make sure that we fix this so we don't have weird floods again. 0.9, 0.9, and this one here. And then I forgot, but then I didn't forget, so I guess it's fine. This one also. Okay, that should be good. So this shouldn't be too much longer getting that done, and then I do want to pressure check this. Okay. Well, it's not really pressure check if there's nothing to stop it, but... So this is, yep, it is open. Let's hit close. And then check and see how this flows through here. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is going to work out, assuming that is exactly how it goes when we have a bad tide. That's going to work out great. So, I'm going to consider that, excuse me, consider that for the time being to be done. And this can fill everything else up here. That should mean that all of this space is going to be much, much, much more usable. Got plenty of food stuff that I haven't been able to really do much with, but we can continue working with that. I've got some space now up here that if this were fully scrap metal harvested, I could build some storage. This would actually probably be a really good place for that. And it doesn't seem like this levee needs to be this high anyways, so I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to put a scavenger flag, let's see, right here. And I guess they can work on getting this and this out of here, and then this will be a great place for us to put Okay, well, I can put one large storage until I can get to dynamite. So, for us to get to that, I have to research deep badwater pumps. I need to put one of those probably down here. I could, maybe, depending on how I wanted to do this, squeeze this in here, and that would be okay. For now, I think that's all right. It's not perfect, but it's fine. This rooftop terrace isn't really in a great spot. I want to be stacking more storage, so maybe this has to move, but I don't know where else it could go. It'd still be accessible. At least not right now. Okay, this guy's got to get some more stuff planted. We've already established this is going to be fine. So let's turn these into oaks. Well, some at least. Get that all set up. This I didn't have any trees planted on because I didn't want it to turn into a big problem later. If I needed that space for something else, we're probably okay. Okay, science-wise, we're looking okay. We're up to 700 science. Depending on how fast that continues accumulating, it may end up being, before too long, number cruncher time. But we do still have to have 100 gears for that, and that is that's a little bit of a roadblock for us right now. Where was that? Okay. Yep, that needs more gears, and this needs more gears. I need 32 more gears. Minimum for that. So, let me get, don't have planks, huh? Well, I do want this pump to be operable, so that should be a thing. Probably isn't a bad idea at this point to get a couple more beavers. So, I don't really have a lot of great spots for this, but I'm going to put in a breeding pod right here. Let them take care of that. That should help us out. Slowly climb the population to maybe 25 to 30 range instead of the 23, 24 range it's in right now. And yeah, number cruncher would probably be the next most helpful thing. And you can stick that in the bad water also. Let's keep that in mind. It's not going to block anything, but it's also not going to be blocked by bad water. That would be a decent spot for it. Get this on triple speed again. Yeah, I really, really would like to have as much of this water pumped out as possible. But gotta have gears for that. So, let's see. Corn rations. Don't have extra beavers right now, except I kind of do. I don't want to have 4 of them on the wheels, so I'm going to put them in here so we can have closer to 100% utilization on power production. Or vice versa. Taking down these scrap metal. That's going to work out fine there. Yeah, it's going to be very much in my best interest to build more of these gear workshops when I can find a decent place for that to go. We'll get it figured out. We will get it figured out. Now I want to figure out how impossible it's going to be for me to get bad water shunted all the way off here. Depending on how I want to do this, might end up being kind of an ordeal. I can't go off the back side here because it's not going to go off the side directly on top of the source. I wonder if it would be easier to go this way than it would be to go this way, because I do have to research these big long overhangs. That would need to be, from this space, would need to be, what, 8? 9, okay. So that's maybe a lot to ask right now. Let's hit pause in the food factory. I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. I just need more storage. I need somewhere for it to go. That's actually going to make sense. I guess if I'm not going to be able to have this blasted out here, then I probably could. Double, triple platforms are going to be useful sooner rather than later, so I suppose I should just go ahead and get some of these unlocked. Yeah, doesn't hurt anybody to do that. So, yeah. I know this is a lot of planks to dump into something like this, but if I'm going to commit to doing this, then I need to commit to doing this. And that is the worst possible place that could have gone. Come on. No, they can't reach this. Alright. Well, time to play the game. There we go. Now, where did it shove those extra logs? Probably underneath all this. But yeah, I gotta have somewhere to stick all this stuff. That's just gonna end up having to be what it has to be. I'm not out of berries, so I guess this is just the beavers are too busy to take care of that. How are we looking on these tanks down here? Okay, that one's done. This one needs 18. This one's pumping. That's fine. Yeah, this is improved so much. 2,400 water storage. That's looking okay. Nobody's pumping here. They also don't really need to. Okay, looks like I've got some more trees I can plant over here. That should be okay, or it should at least be better. I don't have any problems down here. I could have replanted. Let's get somebody down here to, you know, cut these out of the ground. I think I will replant these as oak trees. Yeah, let's just do that. Especially if this is never going to be polluted again, that's going to help a whole lot. And then getting that sorted off the side should be another one of our big priorities here. Yeah, that's just going to be so much easier doing it that way. Alright. Come on, beavers, get this stuff done. We got so much to do. Once we have big storage for food, then that's going to help us out a lot with other stuff. Then I can make another beaver storage. We can start getting into some other stuff too. And I do want to get more of this moved over to oaks. Yeah, they're just going to keep on cutting these things down. That's okay. How close am I to having this one complete? Not very. Alright. Well, at least they can start on this. 80 planks for the large warehouse is definitely going to be a tall order for our current production capability. But it's going to be so nice to have the big storage. It's going to help us out tremendously. Alright, so day 5. Are we going to have... Nope. Alright. Well, 7-day temperate cycle going into a bad tide with all of the kindness the game threw our way the past couple cycles, I think is not worth complaining about. So, getting this diversion set up definitely was a great idea. I think that is probably good. We've already established this isn't going to flood if or when this gets diverted, so that's good. This is all looking fine over here. Let's get these switched over to oaks. And we need to make sure these are full up. Are there any other jobs that I can hit pause on and get these guys in pumps so we can get as much water as possible? Because it's been kind of balanced between the bad tides and the droughts, I imagine we're probably still in the 15 to 20 day range on both of those, which ends up being pretty nice. So I don't think we really have a whole lot of reason to be worried. Let's get a couple beavers in here. Okay, 2 builders is probably fine. I really want to have all of this water taken care of. Okay, so that's got me at -8, which is really only -4, which means I need to try and find a couple of other things not to be sucking up my manpower. I do need the industrial lumber mill. That is very, very important. I think I can pause. Yeah, there's not much to cut down on this one anyway. Gets me down to -7. I've got this here. Don't need to worry about that. That should be alright. That gets me down to 6. And that gets me down to 5. I think 2 of those is alright. How many more do I need for this? 6. Okay, well that's not going to happen in 2 days. Well, it's probably not going to happen in 2 days. I shouldn't say it won't happen. I just probably won't. I am really curious to see if they can do it, though. So this, yeah, this and this needs to continue filling up, but that's not going to take too much longer. Then I pause both of those, and then we'll be all hands on deck anyway, so that's fine. Yeah, 2,700 storage when we get that 3rd tank down in here taken care of. I don't think that's going to be a huge, huge deal. These are just about done. Yeah, let's hit pause on that. I'm going to hit unpause on that. Yeah, now we're looking good. Hey, it's done. Cool. So, that means now I don't think they can possibly hope to fill that up in the time that we have left, but great, great, great stuff today. Getting further and further entrenched into the it's going to be impossible for us to lose scenario, which I very much am going to be a fan of. Now I'm actually a little bit further on this than I thought I'd be. Of course, planks are going to be a whole thing. But we do have this operating just fine. Food is looking okay. I'm going to have this just be regular cassava storage. One, because this is the most density that we can have for food storage right now. Because all these get 2.5 times another one here. So that should be okay. They're not going to finish this for a while, though. Alright, so going to find out real quick whether I figured this out correctly or not. In fact, I do not trust myself, so let's close above contamination 1%. Yeah, that's going to shove it all the way up here, and then that's going to come through that. I could, if I were really desperate, and I did not trust how this was going to work, I could take this large warehouse out, and then I could go over here to the impermeable floors and stick those down underneath, and then put the large warehouse back in, because it hasn't been finished, so we get all the materials back. But I don't think we're going to need it. So let's just see how we're working here. Oh, we almost had a horrific accident. We almost had a horrific accident here, folks. Oh boy. Very glad I caught that. In fact, you know what? I need to just get this all the way back up as fast as possible. All right, you got a little bit of time to, you know, overflow and get your stuff out of your system here. I need this to be perfect right here. Good. Oh, that was almost a disaster. But it didn't end up being one, did it? Alright, bad tide started. Now I should see very shortly... Yo, look at this. Whoa, that's overflowing. That's overflowing. That should not be overflowing like that. Oh. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. That, that should not be pulsating like that. That should not be pulsating like that. Okay. Well, boys and girls. 15-day bad tide, by the way. It seems that I was going to have the gift of prophecy, and I didn't even know it. Oh, I wish I had the science for this. All right. Well, I've got 2100 water, so before we say goodbye, let's just do a little bit more crisis management here. It's not really a crisis, but I, shall we say, am very motivated to not have this ever be a concern ever, 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 ever in the future. So, let's get these guys in the inventors. Please do not ever do this to me again. I'm going to make it so that you don't ever have to worry about it. But boy, oh boy, were mistakes almost made. I don't think I need to have gears for the time being. At least for right now, so I'm going to pause that. Let's turn the fermenters back on. And the food factories back on. That should be fine. I just need these guys to, before I forget about it. Get me my 200 science, so I can research the impermeable floors, and then we don't have to worry about this ever again. Oh, I only need to put 4 of these in here, but man, you already know this would have been absolutely horrific if I hadn't done this. Just ignored it until the next episode, because I would not have remembered. All right, come on, don't make me wait another day for this. Just get me to 200. Oh, we'll go to 20 working hours, just so I can have this whole thing completely, nope, 21 working hours. Just show me that 200. Show me that 200. There we go. Now you can go back to, 18 hours is fine. Impermeable floor. There. That's going to solve that. Should have absolutely no issues whatsoever, for the remainder of time, with that being completely taken care of. I've got the metal in place, and now they're hammering away at that. And then before we say goodbye, I'll just stick that back right there like it was. And that's going to be for cassava, like I said before. And until I have a better option, that's going to be what that is. Oh boy. So, again, lots of good stuff done today. More things we obviously could continue working on, but at this point now, I think we are past all of the extreme dangers. Just have to be able to get everything else set up in terms of getting the contamination barriers, irrigation barriers, and all that stuff set in place, which isn't going to be that big of a deal, except we're going to have the treated planks, and all you know as well as I do, that's going to be a thing, but it's not insurmountable. We just have to make sure that we, just get it done. So, I appreciate you guys watching these videos, giving some helpful feedback, and, calling me out when stuff goes poorly or I miss things. I do always appreciate that. And Beard Boosters subsidizing everything, so I don't have to worry about trying to do sponsors on this channel or do videos edited down to 20-minute, 30-minute segments. Like, no, I just enjoy doing this the way that we've always done it. And those of you that like it that way, I am very, very, very glad you do. And if not, well, that's fine too. There's tons of great people on this website that do fun stuff with the beavers. And you definitely could have more content than you could ever hope to watch if something else is more your speed. But I don't think there's anybody left on this series at this point, at episode 10, who doesn't like these videos. So I appreciate you. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you back again soon, friends. Take care. Bye-bye.